Alright, Part 196, Protection of Underground Pipelines from Excavation Activity, Part A, General. 1. What is the scope of the SWAT? That's 1. 3. Definition, Subpart Damage Prevention Requirements. What are the purpose of the scope of the SWAT? What if the most excavated do with particularly underground pipelines excavation related damage? 105 Reserve. 107 what most excavators do if the pipeline line is damaged excavation activity. 109 what must the excavator do if the damaged pipeline excavation activity causes a leak where the product is released from the pipe. 111 what if the pipeline operator failed to respond locate the request and failed to accurately locate the marks it pipeline. So part C, what if the purpose scope of the subpart, what is the administrative 10203, what is the administrative policy for the conduct of the enforcement proceeding alleged violation excavation damage prevention requirements? Can the PH 10205 PHMS scan accept the administrative civil penalty for the violation? 207 what are the pending maximum administrative civil penalty for violation? And 209 many other civil enforcement actions to be taken. And 211 many criminal penalties imposed. So part A, general, what is the purpose of the scope of the SWAT? The purpose scope of the minimum requirement the excavator must have the following protecting underground pipelines excavation related damage established for the enforcement of the violation with these requirements. Definition, damage excavation damage with the excavation activity result of the need of the repair or replace the pipeline, weakening partial complete destruction of the pipeline, including but not limited to the pipe improvements, the type, the protective coating, poor cathodic protection with the housing, the lighting device, and fatigue. The excavation refers to the excavation activities defined in Statute 192-614, covering all excavation activity involved. Both mechanized and non-mechanized equipment, including the hand tools, excavator, any person legal and even the public arrive at the proposing engaging in the excavation on one call the meeting with notifications through the person notifying the pipeline operator of the plan with the excavator facility locating marking of any pipelines like excavation pipe excavation area. Alright, your pipeline means all the parts of those physical facilities for the gas, carbon dioxide, hards, liquid moved in transportation, including but not limited to pipe valves to other appurtenances that have to connect the pipeline, including but not limited to tracer wire, radio, frequency identified through electronic marking systems, pumping units, compressor unit, measuring system, and regulator stations, delivery systems, stations, and holders, fabricated assemblies, breakdowns out of the tank. So part D, damage prevention requirement. What is the purpose of the scope of this part? Prescribed the minimum requirements the excavator must follow to protect the pipeline, such as subject with the PHMSA state pipeline safety regulation with the excavation related damage. 196-103. What did the excavator do to protect the underground pipeline excavation related damage? Prior to excavation, during the excavation activity, the excavator must use the available call system before excavating, notify the operator of the underground pipeline facility, time and location, intent of the excavation. Underground pipeline exits in the area, wait for the pipeline operator to arrive at the excavation site of the established mark of the location of the underground pipeline facility being excavated, before excavate the proper regard for the mark of the located pipelines operated with the established making all practicable steps of the preventing excavation damage of the pipeline. Make additional use of the one called necessary to obtain a location from the market with the excavating and ensure that the underground pipelines are not damaged. Section 196-105 reserved. 196-107. What does the excavator do with the pipeline damage excavation activity? If the pipeline is damaged any of the excavation activity, the excavator must properly report so if the damage of the pipeline operated whether or not the leak could occur with the earliest practical moment of the following discovery of the damage. 196-109. What must an excavator do if the pipeline has the excavation activity cover the leakage for the product relief of the pipeline? If the damaged pipeline excavation activity cover the relief of the PHMSA regulated natural other gas hazard liquid defined in statute 192, 193, 194 with the shaft of the pipeline excavator must promptly report the relief of the appropriate emergency response authority calling the 911 emergency telephone numbers. Alright, 196-111. And what if the pipeline operator respond to the location of the request of the fail to accurately locate the market's pipeline? PHMSA enforces existing requirements by applicable to pipeline operation include the specified in Title 49, 192-614, and 195-442 in the Title 49 U.S. Code 60114 with the pipeline operator failed to properly respond, locate the request failed to accurately locate the mark of the pipeline. The limitation Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 60114 F does not apply for the enforcement taken against the pipeline operator excavated working pipeline operators. Subpart C, administrative enforcement. What is the purpose of the scope of the enforcement? Subpart describe the enforcement authority to sanction the exercise of the associated administrator or other pipeline safety achievement and maintain the pipeline safety owner. It's also prescribed to the governing extra for the authority in position for the sanction. 196-203. What is the administrative of the profit of the PHMSA will conduct the enforcement proceed with the alleged violation, excavation, damage prevention requirements. PHMSA will use the existing administrative adjunction process for the alleged pipeline safety violations for the Title 49 Part 190 Subpart B process provides the notification proper violation committed within 30 days prior to responding, including the opportunity to quote the administrative hearing issuance of final order and the opportunity to position reconsideration. 196-205. Can PHMSA administer the civil penalty violation? You have the associated administrator of the pipeline safety have the reason to believe that the person violated provision of Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 60-101 and 10 equally regulation order is issued or then including violation, excavation, damage prevention requirement is under this part of the Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6114. D. The state of the excavation damage prevention law enforcement program PHMSA deemed inadequately under Title 49 Part 198. Part D. PHMSA may conduct the proceeding to determine the nature of the extent of the violation as if the civil penalty 196.07 the maximum administrative civil penalty violation, maximum administrative civil penalty that may be imposed or specified in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6122. 196. Many other civil other civil enforcement actions be taken whenever the associated administrator have the reason to believe the person engaged in this bout engaged in any of the act of the practice of the constitute the violation provision in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6101 any other regulations issued by the PHMSA person to whom the authority has been delegated the request of the Attorney General will give them back bringing the action to the appropriate U.S. district or in the relief that's necessary appropriately, including mandatory prohibitive injunction relief in term of adequate equatable relief that civil penalties punitive damage provided in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6120. All right, May 9, 196-11, many criminal penalties be imposed. Yes, criminal penalties may be imposed and specified in Title 49 U.S. Standard Code 6123. And that was Part 196, your protection underground pipelines from excavation activity.